Alright, one is Minz here, playing on the 9.7 test server, and the T-54 first prototype, which it's called right now, is a new Russian Tier 8 medium premium tank, which is slated to release soon. And as you see here, it's going to be compared to the Type 59 because it does have very good frontal armor with its 120mm upper glacis. Turret armor, it's good, but it's nothing overwhelming. It's still going to bounce a lot of shots, but it kind of looks like it might be a little weaker than the Type 59s, but it still has very sloped turret cheeks, which is very nice, and it'll make it very difficult to damage still. Now, side hull armor, very good as well. Rear doesn't really matter, but view range, a little low for a Tier 8, but nothing that you can't cover up a little bit. Now, engine, its engine power, 520 horsepower compared to its weight. It's good, but it's not anything spectacular, but it's still going to be fairly mobile, and I would guess it's going to be a little bit better than the Type 59. I still haven't had a chance to look at its hidden values and all that, but it still should be a pretty close representation to the T-54, but not as fast and mobile as a T-44. Now the gun on it, 100mm D10 TK. Now, decent rate of fire, penetration, typical for a Tier 8 premium tank, decent damage. Accuracy a bit poor, but you expect that from a lot of Russian tanks, and a very long aiming time for a medium tank. So let's hop into a battle here, see how many other people are going to be playing this thing. Hopefully the matches don't take too long now. I just had a other match in the Scorpion, and everyone's testing that thing since it's brand new, and a lot of people are waiting for it. Now, this tank, since the Type 59 is not for sale anymore, depending on how it's released, since Russian tanks are very popular, it does run the risk of being very, very popular to the point where you see tons of these things per game. But so far it looks pretty well balanced. The gun's not overwhelming, premium rounds not overwhelming either, so the firepower's in check. Armor wise, it is very good for a medium tank with a T-54 hull at Tier 8. However, still nothing that you can't overcome in today's game with premium rounds not costing just gold. Okay, so I'm going to be heading to the left side of the map here. Now, judging by the mobility, it isn't as mobile as you might think if you have both the T-54 and T-44. T-44, you shouldn't expect it to get close to that. However, with its mobility compared to the T-54, it's still slower because T-54 prototype, of course it's not going to be as good as the T-54 itself. Now, I would compare it to being a slightly faster T-110E5 with a higher top speed. Now, that higher top speed, as you see, allows you to go over 40 kilometers an hour downhill, but the lack of the engine power, and it feels like it has poor terrain resistance. I don't know for sure the values yet, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna be that great on poor terrain. But basically, with its weight and not an overwhelmingly powerful engine, it does feel closer to a heavy tank at times than it does a medium tank, as far as comparing it to the other T-54s and other basically Russian high-tier mediums. Now, compared to a Type 59, though, it is close, but I still feel like it's a little bit more mobile than a Type 59, just by a hair. But you wouldn't be incorrect saying that it is close to the Type 59 as far as its mobility goes. Now, since it only has 175mm of penetration for its AP round, I believe, it is going to be used a lot with APCR, and since it does have APCR, that's a good premium round in my opinion. Much better in heat, because heat's not good against space armor. There are going to be a lot of people using this thing with premium rounds, unfortunately. But this thing is going to be pretty fun to play, because you have a very good upper glacis to be able to angle and deflect a lot of rounds coming in. So I'm just going to pull back here a little bit. But it does not have good gun depression, but you shouldn't really expect that in a Russian tank. Gotta be careful about this Rumba over here. Now that medium I don't think's playing, but what the hell. Might as well shoot him so he dies quicker, so my team start helping with these guys. I'm gonna start pushing up though, just for the hell of it. But as you see, the upper glacis very strong, and it can deflect a lot of rounds thrown at it. There's that little scorpion here. Hopefully he doesn't move. That thing's very small, very quick. Okay, but the accuracy on the move, I'm kind of surprised. It's not terrible. For the overall poor accuracy it has, it's fairly decent firing on the move. But just put a little bit of angle on that, which I believe that was the STA's premium round, and you're able to bounce most rounds thrown at it. Crap. I know we weighed the same weight, but I was trying to knock him out there. I just thought I might be able to nudge him and kill him in the process. So let's see if I can get him here. There we go. But in its current state, yeah, it still needs balancing. It might change a little bit before it's released, but this is definitely shaping up to be a fun and reliable premium tank for a lot of people. Even though some people might not like the somewhat okay penetration on the AP round, since it's a medium tank, I'm perfectly fine with it. You do still need a little bit of APCR for when you face higher tiers, but it's in no way gimped on the firepower. I'm just seeing if I can get them to bounce off of me here. But unfortunately the rest of our team kind of folded, and okay, so that guy's going over. Shoot me! There we go, that's what I was waiting for, so I can get to this scorpion here. Okay. Gotta get around him, I don't want to hit his upper glacis. And capping's no fun, but I'm just gonna start heading towards the cap for now. They're probably gonna head back, so I'm gonna plot myself behind this T-54 first prototype for now, and just see what happens here. There's one of them. Okay, he's probably knows he's seen. Okay, one's still back at our flag, which the aiming time is a little annoying in this. I'll definitely admit that. And somehow he still hit me. Fantastic. I was kind of banking on the poor accuracy and him not being able to hit me, but yeah, I guess he just barely had enough and he got a little lucky. But the tank does take a little bit to get moving, and on poor terrain, I assume it's going to be pretty sluggish as well, and also going up hills. but it's still a pretty fun tank so far playing it, and very reminiscent of the Type 59, and I think it's going to be a pretty popular hit for people, because people have been waiting for a Tier 8 premium Russian medium tank. Okay, dude, keep going. Don't just sit back. Still move up a little bit. Wonder where the hell this guy is. They're getting pretty damn close for, there you go, for him not to be spotted. But I haven't really looked at the upper glacis values, but judging by the amount of bounces I've seen, pretty sure the upper glacis is going to be immune to its own AP shell. I'm 90% sure it is. So that's pretty good upper glacis for a Tier 8 medium. So overall, not a spectacular game, but 2,159 damage. I blocked nearly 2,000 damage and spotted for a little bit. But overall, this tank is going to be pretty damn good. It has a decent gun. Yeah, it lacks a little bit on accuracy and aiming time, but nothing you can't overcome. And then as far as the rounds go, cheap AP and HE value, or cheap AP and HE cost, not values. And the APCR, it does provide a huge jump in penetration, and I wish it was a little bit lower, because it is going to be a little unfair for people to just shoot just APCR, because you take away one of its weaknesses, because it can't penetrate a lot of heavier tanks and some tank destroyers head on. But APCR, typical 4,400 cost, and this tank, definitely a good tank. We'll see how it is released on the regular server, but so far it's shaping up to be a pretty damn good tank. So anyway, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website, wotguru.com.